Oh, so far away, Lucas. What's your favourite The Boys character and why is it Frenchie?
Well, I was going to say it's Kimiko, but
okay.
like combine them, yeah.
They come as a pair. So the first thing we should clarify is that there'll be no spoilers for Season 3 of The Boys. One, because that's the dick move when we release this episode, like it's not even going to be finished. And two, you're not watching it until it's all out, are you?
No, so I don't want to get spoiled on it either.
But, Lucas, The Boys.
It's just, it's so good.
What a fantastic show and what a strange experience it's been for me to watch an episode of Boys and then an episode of Miss Marvel back to back for the last couple of weeks. One is like really hopeful and shows like, the future of the medium of comics. Of
yeah, The Boys, yeah.
Like, and then the other is this like cynical, dour, tongue-in-cheek look, which is like satirizing our current world through the lens of comic books. And then people don't seem to get that, which I think we're going to have to get into if we're talking about the character of Homelander.
He's like the main good guy of the show, Carl.
Oh yeah, Lucas, he wears an American flag. How can a bad guy wear an American flag?
I don't know, maybe he like lasers a plane in half.
It's literally that Simpsons moment of like, doesn't it say die Bart die on your chest? Well, that's German for the Bart thee. Well, a man who speaks German could never be evil. So if anyone doesn't get what we're talking about, there are many fucking morons out there who don't get that Homelander is the villain of the show.
Because he's the Superman, right?
Because he's blonde. To the point where you had people at a Trump rally dressed like Homelander, to which the actor who plays him was like, the fuck are you doing? Like, the actor who played him was genuinely concerned about, do you not get the point we're making with this show that my character is this weird blonde man who's weirdly obsessed with the female figures in his life, is a complete and utter narcissist who's hopelessly addicted to the praise and admiration of others, and has a shitty blonde haircut.
Yeah, and, if letting a plane full of people die on purpose, when he could have easily saved them, wasn't bad enough. It's like, oh, but look at the weird, like, mother/lover figure that he's got. Oh, yeah, he just melted her brain.
Oh, yeah, because she said something wrong to him. And you can see the parallels there to real life of this man, the most powerful man on earth, being an absolute fucking child and just responding to any and all criticism with, like, threats and or real violence. And you can see the parallels to real life there. And people are watching this show like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see that there's any message being imparted by this media. Anyway, Homelander. So we have here, Lucas, oh man, you wrote some nicknames.
Hell yeah.
Aliases, Homelander, the Homelander, which I don't like. I don't like that you're either Homelander or you're the Homelander. So he's like, Superman is not the Superman, he's Superman.
I guess, like, sometimes people refer to Batman as the Batman, though.
Yeah, which is kind of weird, but it's like, he's not, but that implies there's multiple Batmen, but I guess there are with Batman.
There are, yeah.
There are, but like with Superman, there's only one Superman. I know you have that comic where it's like Reign of the Supermen, and you have like the fucking robot Superman coming in, and I still contend that Zack Snyder's vision of the DC Extended Universe could have worked if he tackled the storyline Reign of the Supermen, where the basic storyline is Superman's dead, and then a bunch of people who don't understand what Superman stood for try and replace Superman, and that's perfect for Zack Snyder, because that's the movie he made anyway. Anyway, we have here the world's greatest superhero, my greatest failure, Man-Child.
Oh, God.
Right, and then we have Gramps by Stormfront, the most powerful man by Doppelganger, Inhuman fucking monster, Bad Product, fucking Psycho, and then Citizenship, American, Gender, American, Occupation, you should just say America for all of these, shouldn't it? Do you like when you read reuse like profile in Street Fighter and it's like name, karate, blood type, karate. And then we have status alive. What the fuck are you going to do to him? So Lucas, what are your thoughts on Homelander the character, and why is it one of the scariest fucking things in any TV show is whenever he's on screen?
Yeah, it's so scary because the show clearly like signifies that character as having the mental age of a 10-year-old. And just any time this Superman gets a little bit angry or things don't quite go his way, there's just a chance he's going to laser everything in the room in half.
And the fact that you never know that he's going to do that is incredible. And it's a credit to Anthony Starr's acting that I am like legitimately like mesmerized by his performance sometimes, of like just moments where you see the mask slip. Like Joey's like being public Homelander and he's smiling and stuff like that. And then you just see him grit his teeth like these fucking peasants. And it's like, is he going to kill someone in this scene?
I've just been rewatching The Boys season 1 and 2 in like, trying to keep my excitement down till season 3 ends. And it's just that scene at the start of season 2 where the new, Vault VP comes in. It's like, oh, I've got a great candidate who's like this blind superhero. He's like, oh, okay, right. Well, what are you going to do when this happens? Just claps his ears, like leaves him bleeding on the ground. He's like, I decide who's in the 7.
Hey, guys, I just have one question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So, what happens if, I don't know, I do this?
And that's the thing as well, because he goes from like 0 to 100 instantly, and he just flips a switch, and there's no predicting it, and it makes every scene he's in terrifying.
Yeah, because he goes from happy and laughing to just clapping this guy's ears out.
Yeah, because there's nothing. There's nothing there behind the eyes. Like, he is like, a complete and utter sociopath, and that's what makes the character so interesting to watch, because you get to see everybody else around him realize that, and then you see their reaction of, oh, the most powerful man on the planet is a fucking nightmarish monster who doesn't care about anybody else. And I can't see any real world parallels to that, can you, Lucas?
No, none at all.
We're going to keep doing this. I think my favourite bit is there are going to be people who are mad about this, but they also like the boys. And it's like, how do you exist? It reminds me when we talked about like Black Panther once, and there's that quote from a Black Panther writer, if they sometimes get complaints from Republicans about like them making fun of them in the comics. Like, I never thought I'd encounter a Republican who reads a Black Panther comic and doesn't get that we don't like them. So you've seen you've not seen this season 3, but you've seen like the tweets from the show, haven't you?
No.
Of people like review bombing it, saying shit like, oh, well, it's just making fun of right-wing people. I'm like, where have you been the entire time we've been making this? Did you watch season 1?
Yeah.
It's like when on my Twitch channel, which you can find linked below, I replay through like Metal Gear Revengeance like 2-3 times a month. And every single time I get to like the Armstrong fight, I'm like, would you believe that people didn't get that this is supposed to be a satire of America?
As the bad guy of the game is like an American senator giving a speech behind an American flag at the end for the boss fight.
About how he's going to sacrifice American soldiers to fuel a proxy war in which he can sell child soldier PMCs created and put into robot bodies.
You legitimately got people online like, can we get back to the good old days of not having politics like it Metal Gear Rising?
And I now want to ask a question that I've asked on my stream a few times, like the wider audience we have here on the channel, and that is something I've not seen mentioned anywhere online in the resurgent discussion surrounding Metal Gear Rising Revenge, and that is that in mission 3 or 4, your enemy in the game is the police. Like, not like a stand-in, the literal police for the city of Denver, and it is presented as the morally correct choice to wombo combo those police officers and rip out their spines.
I was going to say bonus points for the spines.
And I am genuinely astounded there's been no discussion about that from either people like myself who find it weird in the fact that it's there and not been talked about, or the weird right-wing people trying to put it forward as like liberal propaganda or something. And it's like, it's so overt. And I would now like to ask the audience at home, is there any other game out there that's popular? Because there's probably going to be an indie game or two out there. But like a popular release video game from a well-known series in which the police are the enemy. And before people rush out and comment, Grand Theft Auto, and let me clarify, your character has to be the hero. You can't be an anti-hero or a criminal. You've got to be the hero, and the enemy is the police.
Yeah, in Grand Theft Auto, the police are stopping you because you're the criminals.
Yes.
Not vice versa.
Because every time I mention this, someone goes Grand Theft Auto, it's like, you're not listening. It's that annoying thing people on the internet do, where they listen to the first half of the question and then answer that, and it's like, no, listen to the rest that provides the context. I'm legitimately interested to know, is there any other game that's done that? Of oh fuck it, kill the police, it's great.
And to clarify,
no one's talking about it.
Metal Gear Rising came out in 2013.
No, it's been out for nearly a decade now. And as I said, when the game got released, barely a peep, and now it's undergoing this critical reanalysis because of the memes. And I've not seen anyone talk about the fact the primary antagonistic force for a quarter of the game is the police. And you have your main character talking about how they are killing the police to save people, and they're talking about being a corrupt institution.
God.
And I can't decide what's weirder, that it's in the game or that no one talks about it. So yeah, it's just one of those things I noticed, and it really confuses me because how is this not a thing that's being discussed? So Lucas, we have a couple of sections here. We have appearance, personality, powers and abilities, and weaknesses.
Is there a section of, is Trump fucking a Nazi?
And in regards to the Trump thing, I don't think you could get a more on-the-nose bit of symbolism than a weird, narcissistic blonde man draped in an American flag, literally getting into bed with a Nazi because they tell him they can make his approval numbers go up. And they do that by just saying racist things on Twitter. It's one of those things where it's on the nose, but that's the reality we live in now.
And I genuinely thought that the Boys was one of those things where it's come on, that is so on the nose, no one can miss it. This can't be going over anybody's head, and apparently there are people out there.
There are people out there, yes, but what do you want to call those, Lucas? Appearance, personality, powers and abilities.
Let's go for personality.
Oh god, we got a quote from Homelander, and I'm not going to read it out because it's one of those giant fucking speeches. Those amazing long speeches that gets made by Homelander. So instead of me reading a quote, just here's a Homelander quote from the show.
I mean, come on, guys. Nobody wants innocent people to get hurt. Of course not. But sadly, well, the bad guys, they don't think like us. And so, sometimes, well, these things just happen.
Wait, this happened before?
Homelander's mission has always been to serve Vought International on a deeper level. Madeline Stillwell. Yeah, not really. Not really anymore, is it? He's kind of doing his own thing now. Says, as a person, he is deeply narcissistic, disturbed, and psychotic, showing no empathy. For a superhero, he's incredibly brutal and aggressive, throwing a bank robber into the air and letting him fall to his death. Brutalizing A-Train. He is highly intelligent and sets a meticulous plan to get superheroes into the military. He's also charismatic, easily swaying the public to give him support. And I'm going to admit, it's really easy to sway the public to your way of thinking. It's listen to me or I'll laser you all in half. The scariest scene in season 2. And I think it speaks to the quality of that show and how genuinely surprising it can be, where Homelander lasers that entire crowd in half, and I didn't know if it was real or not.
I assumed it was real.
For one split second, I thought, holy shit, they do it. Then you see that's what he's thinking in his head. And that's the thing of, he's always thinking that.
Yeah.
He's always thinking, what if I just lasered all these people in half?
Just shout out to one of my favourite moments in season 2 of him turning around to Giancarlo Esposito's character. And he's like, I'm the most valuable thing this company has. And he just stares him down in the face, not even taking a second to just be intimidated by Homelander in any way. He's just, regular human being in a suit. And he just stares down Homelander and he's like, we are a pharmaceutical company. You gave away our most profitable and most important asset, so sit the fuck down. Yeah, and that's the thing there of Giancarlo Esposito's character has him figured out. And that's what makes Homelander such an interesting character, where he thinks he's smarter than he is. And I can't think of any parallels to real life where we have someone in power who thinks they're so smart they can get away with anything when it's obvious that they're trying to manipulate people. But just when you have those moments where someone way smarter than he is just talks him the fuck down and he gets mad. Being raised in a laboratory, Homelander has difficulty understanding love and humanity. This rendered Homelander sociopathic and amoral, intimidating members of a Seven in order to keep them in line while also killing anyone who stands in his way. It is made clear that Homelander does not care about humanity, only the way that supes are viewed in their eyes. The purest form of a narcissist there. And he's more than willing to let a plane full of families and children crash, despite police and Queen Maeve to save just the children, but pretends to feel satisfied about the incident while in the public eye.
And I love that as well. That's like season 1, and we still have people saying, yeah, but he's not a bad guy, though.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love about Homelander's character and his characterization, and it's just one of those little things that I invite people to look out for when they watch it. It's one of those quite subtle things in his like characterization. It's just that Homelander's really fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Which is like just taken to its logical extreme in that scene where, given Homelander's power set, he could have realistically saved almost all, if not all, of the people on that plane if he tried, but he doesn't want to.
He could have taken one moment to think, oh, if I laser through this person, it's going to break the plane as well.
Yeah, like there's like a dozen different ways that scenario could have ended if Homelander wasn't lazy. Mm-hmm. And even when like you know it was crashing into the ocean, he could have like grabbed people, flown down to the water, left them in there, come back and got them later. But like, no, can't be arsed. And there's so many ways he could solve situations that would like cause less collateral damage, but he doesn't give a fuck.
And then you've got that scene where they're discussing. It's like, oh well, here's how they're going to integrate the superheroes into the army, and it's like, well, on paper, we're going to say that we won't allow any collateral damage, but in reality, it's like 30-something%. That's how bad Homelander is at his job and doesn't give a fuck. It's like, yeah, realistically, to call something a success, like, just about 40% or less of the people that die need to be innocent.
And what makes that worse is as you go through the episodes and they like build up Homelander and they talk about, yeah, nothing can actually kill him. There's nothing on Earth we're aware that can cause him any lasting harm. Mm-hmm. And he still doesn't give a shit. Like, realistically, you could walk in and just one by one, just walk up to every person and break their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Or even like, walk up and put handcuffs on them.
Yep.
But he doesn't want to. And it's like, they're like, yeah, we realise he's too lazy and not disciplined enough to actually train. So we're going to just allow, like, this acceptable margin of error of 30%. And it's like, again, that criticism of corporate America of like a bar chart to represent loss of human life. And then we have here, Luke, are you ready? His relationship with Stormfront is rather passionate and at the same time reluctant. While they're both, to some degree, care for one another, their love has its limitations. And we have here what might be the greatest realising a guy stuck his dick in crazy moment in fiction. For instance, Homeland's not completely buy into Stormfront's racist ideology. I like that. Does not completely buy into it.
Not 100%.
When Stormfront teaches Ryan about white genocide, his face cringe. And that's where you get that thing, isn't it, where he just goes, oh no.
Mm-hmm. Like, wait, what?
Oh.
Hang on.
And that's the thing as well. I love the reading that people have had of that scene. Of, it's because Homelander's not a bad guy. It's like, no, it's not that he's not racist. It's that he doesn't think humans matter. He's beyond racist. He's like speciesist. He's gone to a new level.
He always refers to like normal people as humies or like you people. Yeah. He's like literally doesn't see them as the same species.
Yeah. So my reading of that scene where Homelander goes, huh? When she like starts being like super racist, is that he's more than anything, he's confused by the idea that superheroes care about the distinctions between humans because they're all lesser than he is. Mm. Like, that's the thing, he's a step beyond that. And it's where you have that like really chilling, super prescient quote of people like what I have to say, they just don't like the word Nazi.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't like the words.
Yeah, but that's the thing, it's true to, those kind of people. The kind of people who are watching the show not realising they're getting made fun of. And like some of the stuff here we have, it's going to start season 3 stuff. We'll move on to powers and abilities.
Yeah, I don't think we've got much time to do powers and abilities other than he's Superman.
He is. But I'm really interested in talking about more boys, so maybe we'll do a follow-up to this if people like it. Because I am more than happy to sit here and talk about boys for another no, that's probably going to be taken out of context. The boys! If people like, maybe we'll do a part 2 on the on Homelander. But cheers, everybody. And remember, don't be a fucking Nazi.
Please don't.